So
Our
recording started, and so we're having a quick walkthrough LinkedIn Mind and PBWorks, I guess. And so here is Dimitri and Michelle, and we go through. So Dimitri is showing me his LinkedIn Mind dashboard, I guess, right?
it's just the page
The
where I
page.
have only
Okay.
page on Like in Mind, where I have only kind of search bar of the topics.
Okay. Is it kind of a wiki, or is it what's the whole tool? Is a wiki, a weblog, all together? Because I see workspace, I see. So how do you qualify
It's
this tool?
it's a wiki.
Okay.
Just it was probably the best wiki 12 years ago for this kind of job,
Okay.
and it also had to be free, and yeah, it's just I put a bit of modifications to the pages, and that's how it looks like now.
Okay.
So what we can do is probably I'm not sure. Just in this page or in this search bar, we can start typing anything like P2P platform,
Okay.
and it opens the page, or it will ask permission to create a page if
So
the page is not there.
P2PCI is P2P cognitive intelligence, or
Yes, collective intelligence.
okay.
And so we can go here
Mm-hmm.
to a prototype.
So those are pure wiki pages.
Yeah, they are. Yes, we can edit any page here,
Okay.
and that's how the editor looks like.
Yes.
So it has WYSIWYG view or
Yeah, but that's a classical
appearance,
one. Yes.
and we can save and continue, or just save page and exit from editing, or just cancel if we don't need any changes. And then on Firefox, there are some also add-ons which helps me of moving around. For example, if I have a question about P2PCI, what it is, I'm using a special add-on.
So you have a find that search the PBWorks. Is the find the add-on is finding.
Sorry?
The add-on is finding the PBWorks relative topic is a search on PBWorks.
Yes, it's the add-on is. I don't remember how it's called. Just I have two add-ons. You see, it's a context search,
okay,
and also finding. And you can search for different websites here, and one of the options is to search through PBWorks.
Okay.
It can be Internet Archive, for example, or anything else.
Yeah. Okay.
No, not anything, but many
Everything
pages.
that has a search API.
So what you see here. Pardon?
Everything that has probably a search API.
Yes. I'm not too sure. Most likely.
That's okay.
Well.
Okay.
We need to see how it works. Okay. I'm not too sure. Just you see, when I just opened this page with just the abbreviation for P2PCI, you can see that it's an option to go to P2P collective intelligence page, or to the prototype of the page of the platform. And so we go to the prototype of the platform, and here you see in the taxonomy path, it's to the topic in the ontology or tree of knowledge or directory. It's we have a project, peer-to-peer collective intelligence, and so then collective intelligence modes,
So
collective intelligence, types of intelligence so far.
This is still wiki, right? Or it's
Yes.
different. And so why this page has the navigation path versus the other one does not have? Is it because it's a special plugin or something, a special wiki function that you instantiate?
This is just a shortcut to the actual page here.
Okay.
Yeah, which helps me to navigate.
Okay.
Yeah, and so it's just an association that we may have in our mind.
Mm-hmm.
It's just for quick navigation.
Okay.
So what I'm doing, I'm just capturing my thoughts and also making this kind of shortcuts to move around quickly.
Okay.
Yeah, and just on every page on the sidebar, you can have a similar search bar here. And also, you can do full text search from Google in this field, if it's through the pages compared to the topic search here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the
and
topic
here,
search
for example,
the jump to is within the wiki. The other one is full search from on the whole internet, or just the PBWorks also?
Just PBWorks.
Okay.
I can search in just from here, from right click, search Google for cognitive assistant. Or what I can also do is if I copy it here, it gives me a full text search through Like in Mind only.
Okay, perfect. Yes.
And so you see that, so for example, we have applications for cognitive assistance. Didn't touch for quite a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we can search or navigate all around. Yeah, so it shows here.
Can edit any page. If I want to edit this page, would I be able to, or you have to have the ownership or any right for that page? Is it collaborative?
Yes, you can edit any page. You see the versions can be reverted if something done not right. But ideally, what we are trying to do is to make a so-called excuse me, fractal wiki approach, where every participant has his own workspace. Every participant has his own workspace, and the actual mix of the same topic but at different workspaces is happening on the browser. So this kind of add-on is being developed, but I cannot show you the result at the moment because well.
So basically, like if you have a page about application for cognitive assistant, I might have a page for the same thing in my workplace, and you have the add-on that bring them together and an index or whatever it is of the two.
Yeah, what will happen that yes, you will be building a similar probably associative network,
yes,
or ontology like this on your workspace. I will be doing these things here, but when we have the pages which have absolutely the same name, we will see each other there. Okay. But in the case, because the names can be different, but the meaning with the same meaning. This approach is not perfect, and that's where we need a cognitive assistant who will be suggesting and suggesting topics.
Suggesting topic. Okay. So you
establish the links. Yeah.
So you group pages by on the similar whatever headers or title type of thing, and then you can navigate.
Yes, and
so you can navigate through all the views of people that talk about cognitive assistant if they put cognitive assistant in that title, for instance. Okay.
In this prototype, we have a kind of a Wikipedia approach. It's a common address space where everyone has everyone can work only on one page.
Yeah.
What they can do, they can make sections of the page for just their own, for their opinions and their distinguished content. But also, still, this is probably not very convenient, and quite a few people asking about this kind of federated wiki.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this one is it federated or is it just centralized? Right? It's all at the same place.
This is a mix of federated and fractal wiki. We can still different people can work on the same page and see them separately, but also together, if you know what I mean.
Okay, so that's the federation part, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Just the actual federation is when we copy a page to someone's wiki and modify it in any way.
Okay.
That we like. But I do not like this particular approach because we get a numerous number of copies, and then it's really difficult to see who is working on what and to observe a bigger picture.
So that makes too many different copies that are very similar, and then so you don't know the slight difference, and because there's nothing to collect the different versions. Is that right?
Yes, what we need is the ability to bring all the versions of all the federated wiki on one page, and so then see all the differences they may have, and maybe highlight it by different color, for example.
But it's not.
But still on the same page.
Okay, but it's not the job of assistant or whatever, cognitive assistant that do that, the collection part.
Yes.
Because in the fractal, you have the same problem in the fractal wiki, is that everybody will have their topic and their page in their workspace. You still have to do the collection and the aggregation of this.
Just a second.
Okay.
Let's see what fractal wiki is. Oh, yeah. Oh.
Takes time.
All right. I expected that the difference between them will be seen immediately. I mean, the link to this page. But because I didn't make it myself manually, that's where the role of the cognitive assistant will be invaluable.
Yeah, I see.
So what I do is just add it here, which doesn't take too long. And here, finally, we can see the difference between them. So we have centralized wikis, fractal wikis, federated.
So just one moment. When you added the link, where did you add it? So it's not in this page. You add the link in the other page so that you go to that page?
Yeah, I thought of just going to Fractal Wiki and finding this link.
Yeah, subcategories, yeah, okay.
But this link was not put manually there, and the cognitive assistant is still yet to develop. So what I've done, just added the relevant wiki, the relevant link to spend less time in the future. And also for those who are new to this topic, for example, when they open the page, they will see the full variety of categories and pages.
Okay.
Yeah. For example, we can see here how Holochain looks on Fractal Wiki.
Okay. Good.
Yeah. And here I made a comparison of different wikis. And yeah, so I see that, for example, in Fractal Wiki, we do not using forking.
Yes.
Forks is a feature of federated wikis.
Yeah.
But in Fractal Wikis, I believe we do aggregation of different chunks of content from very different sites.
Yes, it's
and
more
so
like
that's a particular, yeah.
Okay. And so
That is particular. Oh, sorry.
Sorry,
Yep.
those pages are the one that you edited. If you have a large group of people, I mean, how do you make the document, because we all have different ways of editing, different point of view, how do you make like a consistent view, or how do you structure it so that it does not become a big mess between all the people? Like if I want to share a lot of documents, in how I will structure it so that it does not make your model collapse, or make it evolve, but it's still usable for everybody.
Yeah, for doing it, it's coming from the concept of collective subject.
Yes.
And as the individual subject, the collective subject is supposed to have very similar functions for thinking.
Yeah.
So we have different thinking modes. And for like-in-mind is good for long-term memory. So it's final versions of documentation and mind maps. It's when we agreed on something, we publish on like-in-mind. If we are working on documents, we can use different platforms like Zip Drive.
So that means that all the ongoing documents, they are developed on other platforms, and then once they mature, they are moved in like-in-mind.
Yes, and only those parts which you want to see as kind of final go to like-in-mind.
Okay, so that means if I do documentation, for instance, on my blockchains, I will do first on G Drive, and once I feel I'm ready, I will post something in some places, dashboard or whatever, notification or channel, and then we will have a discussion, and then we will migrate them into like-in-mind, or because like-in-mind is a wiki, right?
Yes.
So if it's a wiki that everybody can potentially post things even if they're not fully ready.
Yes, also, yes. On Wiki, they can use the same functions as on Google Drive.
Yes.
But maybe Google Drive is more suitable because it's a separate working space, and also it's slightly more convenient for collaboration than PBWorks. Okay. But you see, this is only example, because we can use very different platforms, but for the same kind of function. Yeah.
Yeah, that I understand. So that's why also I'm asking, what is the exact protocol if I want to post an article? I mean, what are the steps that I should follow, and what is there some kind of overall body that see and structure the whole thing, and how does it work?
Give me a topic, and
by blockchain, for instance.
You see, what you do is just you do blockchain and see what happens here. You see, it's suggesting that it's already a page created for the job.
Yeah.
Which is called a blockchain. So just to avoid multiple pages on the same topic.
Yes.
Yeah. And so you see that I'm copying a part of article from Wikipedia just to get familiar myself what is blockchain, for example, and I can go directly there. And also what you see here is subcategories and pages which are mostly copied from Wikipedia.
Yeah,
but
look, like for instance,
not all.
Like for instance, here I would like to. So I have a holochain. I would like to put, I mean, on a subcategory like blockring, which is my type of blockchains, and then it point to my documents or whatever it is.
Yeah. So I actually within how to will be good like this.
Yeah, like this. Yes.
Blockring. So we are doing blockring.
Yeah.
And keep it next to this tab,
yes.
Blockchains, just for convenience. It's working slowly, partially because we are connected. Yes. And so you see, I made a query through this jump to field,
yes.
and it's suggesting me to create either blank or a page, or page with a template. We have quite a few templates here to choose, but this one is the most common. Okay. So I just choose it. No folders, because folders create it's inconvenience. Just ignore folders. Okay. And click create page, and the page will be created with the template for it.
Okay. So the question I have is that if I start editing that type of page, then does it has to go through a review process so that people approve it, or it just go there and then people will edit it if they don't like it, or that type of thing, or it's just self collaboration, or is there some way of doing it the proper way?
Because it's a common space, it's just better to be a bit cautious with other people's views and opinions, not to delete anything of others without consulting with them. That's why we have this like-minded communication protocol. If you have a question with a person, just try to put a discussion and to come to agreement, and only after that make.
So for every article, you can have a discussion tab, or is there something like the Wikipedia things where you discuss the change you want to see, or?
Well, yes. I'm just thinking where to get this format from. I mean, if we have any communication, so for example, maybe not to P2P. Let's see. I'm just thinking.
Or just the page we created. If you created a blockchain page, you can have a discussion on that one.
Yes, we can. For example, open. Just you see this. This part will be seen. The section between these two blocks will be seen, but this part between these two blocks will be hidden.
Okay.
It's just how it is programmed. It's and so then we can put, for example, web presence, and I can do heading 3 just to highlight it,
okay.
Or do communications. Yeah, and also there are shortcuts like Control-3 to toggle the format between, and you see they can go 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
So communications, and for example, we can do it somewhere on Facebook, for example. I just put here, but it will be the actual link on the thread where we discuss this particular thing.
I see.
Yeah, so in this way, and also first thing on this thread will be a link to Like-Mind.
Okay.
In such a way, we have both platforms interconnected.
So basically, you put, for communication and discussion on the topic, you put a link to another platform or that is more appropriate for the discussion.
Yes, and I can show you. I'm just trying to open Facebook. and we go to some.
Well, you do a chat group thing, whatever.
It can be, well, I'm not sure
Or a
about chats,
Facebook
but
page or whatever it is, I don't know. Or a topic, just a thread of, yeah.
or it can indeed be
Messenger chat.
you see
Yeah.
link in the messenger, or it can be a link from the Facebook.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and so what we do, for example, in this Grammarly, well, I can't see it right now. Maybe another thread.
Yeah. Well, so you post the topic on your Facebook, and then you put the link of the thread for documenting on the LinkedIn Mind.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And so then it will be easier to navigate between different platforms.
Yes.
That's how we create this overlay, semantic overlay between any platform which has a link. So, for example, I can do copy, paste here. It means that, yeah.
Okay, perfect. They will talk to me.
They will talk to you directly, if you like.
Yeah, what is the, that's no problem. What is the, so you say there is a hidden one, and what is the purpose of the hidden one? Is for the assistant, for the, and then the other one is for the human? I mean, within the page, what are the different parts?
It just happened historically. Some people find it annoying to have this kind of information. Oh, because so you see the same page.
I see. So it's to hide it or not to hide it? Okay.
You can hide or unhide, and you see that so the same page can be classified in different ways. So they belong basically to different core pages. Yeah.
Okay. And for any page, I can see the source of it, right? Like
yes, and
if I want to get inspired by another page, I can copy paste a piece of code, right? Like
yeah, here's the source.
I'm not saying the source, but the edit version. Like here with in this blocking page, you have a special way. The templates are filled up with special things. Can I have the same view of another page?
Say again.
Can I have the edit view with the hidden and the not hidden part of this page?
Another view.
The headed view.
For example, here we can edit, and you see that it looks more different because it has pieces of JavaScript here.
Yeah, okay, that's why I wanted to see, so that I can see the same thing on other pages. If I want to.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yes, in many pages. Just do not delete these blocks, otherwise the function of the page will be altered.
Yeah.
It will be. Yeah, but anyway, we will be able to revert any edition.
That's nice. Perfect.
So just I want to show you how I work. So you see, this is the path in the taxonomy or ontology.
Yes.
And what I do, I just move in between pages and paste it here. And so then you see, what I've done, I just clicked or selected phrase or a word, and then click add link. But also there are shortcuts like Ctrl-L for the add link. I'm using shortcuts. That's why you didn't see what's happening. Sorry about that.
That's okay. So the path, how do you define the path? It's existing path, right? Or you can create a totally different path?
You can create a totally different path, but so then it should be linked to somewhere, which makes sense.
Yes. Okay. But
hold on, just a second.
А ты успел в магазин?
Нет. Какой магазин?
Он меня спросил, что спросить.
Я чуть попозже, можно я поговорю?
Да, нам нужно туалет нужен.
Да, хорошо. Пока. Yes, so,
Is it your children? How many children you have?
sorry?
How many children? That was your children?
Ah, yeah,
How many children do you have?
4.
Oh, wow. I have two, but they are on the US side. Okay, so this chain, this taxonomy chain is like creating a virtual structure, right? It's like it's a
I'm not
tree.
sure how to call it.
No, but it's nothing that you don't need to have you don't have folders that are associated with it. It's like you create links of topic. Well, can you go back to the one of the taxonomy chain? And we want to get an example.
Yes. I will do on your example. Just
Okay,
you see, I put here the block ring
and
to
so
the
you
page
put
blockchains.
you put the link, or you put why it's blue versus the other one are black.
This is a link.
Okay. Link.
This is a link to the internal
Okay.
page,
Yes.
but black is just a text. And
Okay.
I do not need anything else here. I save the page, and then we can see what's happening on the graphical on the graph.
Okay, so you have a graph to navigate through.
The graph is on Debate Graph platform, and here we can place your page, which can be different color, because your page is probably not a category. It's just an object, maybe. Or if you want to put a category, it can be. It's just by definition. Category here, an object is here, and for the articles and papers is this color.
What is the?
So I would make it this color.
So this is a page. What is the third one? The option is for what?
It's just the convention here.
Yeah, but
just
what is your
first option is for subcategory.
So subcategory, that are the issues. Subcategories is the issues. The article, no, the page position.
Object. This one is article, or sorry, this one is object. This one is article or page.
Object, article.
This is object, and subcategory. And I would think of it as maybe an object, but the color can be changed anytime.
Yeah, okay. And the other one, the green and the other ones is not used, only the three first color?
I'm using only 3, but and also this is just Debate. It's a platform for prototyping.
Yeah.
And hopefully in a new platform it will be absolutely different. And here I put a link to backlink to this page. And also.
So you put a link on the debate graph. You put a link to the page, and on the page, do you put something to the graph or not? No. You have to. Oh yeah, you put it.
Yes, they are.
Okay.
They are interlinked in this way. You see. So I'm attaching the link to this image.
Oh, okay.
To the icon.
And by default, there is no link.
Also. By default, there is a link to the core.
To the core, okay.
To the top, of the ontology.
Okay.
Just in case if we got lost, we at least find top easily.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah, and here you see that this is a link back to LikeInMind.
Yeah.
And here is the link to the graph. This one.
Okay.
And here, somewhere here, you will be putting your content. Yeah, and also the page is pre-configured for subcategories and pages which are related to this topic. Actually, I can see now that probably it will be still a subcategory for block ring, so I will change the color of it.
Okay.
I mean here on the debate graph.
Lot of manual linking. We need an assistant.
Absolutely. Assistant is just automation of the
Of
job,
all those
which is
things.
already being done.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also we have to move from these platforms, ideally, into P2P environment,
Okay.
where IPFS is probably a good solution, or
Yes.
Holochain,
Holochain, yeah.
or anything else? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so I saw all those things. Is there a way of talking to the PV Works or or like in mine in a automatic programmatic way, like an API, so that if I want to do the same thing that we did manually, is there a way of doing it with commands?
When I have a question
Yes.
to
You
myself
type it
or
out.
someone,
Okay.
I just start typing it in Build, and
Yeah.
so then it gives if answer is there, then it can be found.
Okay.
If it's not there, then I will be asked to create it, the answer.
And
And
so
also
how do
link.
you ask a question? Like imagine there was no link. You ask where do you ask if there's some question to be asked?
You see, I'm just putting instead of questions, I'm putting titles of the
Yes.
topics which I want to find, and then if topic is not there, it will be created.
I see.
If topic is there but under different name, I should make a link between
Okay.
my idea and the idea which is already there.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. And so this is the way of building associative networks. So
Yeah.
that's how we make connections between associates of different people and building a bigger node or bigger associative network of collective subject.
Yes. Okay. Makes sense.
So this API was used by the students for building the federated wiki.
Okay.
By the way, it's I hope just to find it because I don't remember exactly, and I don't want to spend time with you on looking for it. For the page, I'm not sure. You see the
They are done.
the work of the students is not here.
Okay.
Yeah, because I did not find it. This in the upper right corner of every page, it's another search option through the fragments of the words of the title.
Okay.
Yeah, so I can I can start typing any fragments of the
title.
And it will find it.
Okay.
And as you can see, the add-on which was developed is not listed here.
Okay.
But it's on my Google Drive. So if you want to see, we can go there. And I should still put it somewhere.
Well, you know, add-on Firefox add-on category, something like that.
Yeah, it will be probably listed here at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And so, and still, I didn't have time to look into it. In pre-alpha, I cannot use it to full downloading the page from a workspace like this one, and you can just locally and then upload it online.
Okay.
So functions realized.
But that's good. I guess I have a good overview. Is there anything else than in the way you work and especially in the way you work with other people? Because it's more that is the
with other.
Yeah. How do you work? Like even with Amber, how do you work with her? You get both guys at your workspace and then you exchange link between your workplace, or?
Yeah, I can show you something.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, we usually share links. We can have with Amber, for example.
For discussion. Yeah. Or you
As
can
you
look.
see, I'm
You can look
just
for people too on
yes.
PVWorks. Okay.
What I do, I just make a link, my association to find people quickly, and
Okay.
so it's a bit slow. Ideally, this all should be done on my copy,
Yeah.
and it's strange that there is no page for us.
Okay.
Maybe it is called just the opposite way. So what I'm doing is just adding a link.
To the other one.
Yes, just I'm adding to the associations.
So this one existed, right?
And you see, I hope so. Otherwise, well, in any way,
Yeah.
it must be created.
So
Otherwise,
this page,
it will be too slow navigation.
this page is in your workspace, but is it visible by me or not? If I do the same search, do I find the same page?
Yes.
Okay.
This is a common
Okay.
space.
It's common space. Okay. Everything is common space, or do we have some more hidden private space, or so it's all open for everyone? In LinkedIn, everything is open for everyone. Okay. Well, you just have to know.
Mostly. It's mostly open, but there are some hidden pages for the projects which should be hidden.
Oh, you have project page. Okay.
And it looks like there is no direct link to our work with Amber.
Okay.
For some reason, I don't know. But I will create it later. So I just keep the tabs open to modify it later.
Okay.
And what I wanted to show, just a second, it's here, for example. If I'm working with someone, I do, you see, in the messenger page, just select a link, and so then I just open the page.
And
for this person. And in this way, you can work with hundreds of people, but still not tracking anything, not losing anything, because all your actions are tracked here. Yeah. For example, that Johnson is working on a project which is called this building potentials for transformation.
Okay.
Yeah, and so that's how we can contact him on email.
Yeah. Okay.
And it was an image here, but it's outdated because it's a part of the Facebook, and Facebook is not the most reliable media.
Yes. Okay.
But here we can navigate down to the project and see what's happening with the project and so on. You know, it's for example, here they have a few pages for the web presence. They have a working document here or folder.
Nice.
They have anything what is important, what they think is important. And also they have, for example, the action plan, communication protocol, and you see the whole structure for the project here.
So that's this page. It was Johnson Peru that wrote it, right?
You see, it's me who made the last edition, but he also has the access. He find it, he find it easier just to give me information for me to publish it here.
Okay.
Because of the situation in Africa, it's not very easy to work online.
Yeah, I can assume. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. So that's how we create pages and make a structure of them. And then we can find many things. Whatever is not created should be created, not to spend any time in the future.
So basically, that every time that you have a link that is useful, you create it, and then it's for future reference. So the goal is create as much as link as possible, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, ideally, yes.
Yes.
If possible, yes.
Okay.
It helps just navigation, and also because for many people, their thoughts
Slightly different.
sound the same.
Yeah.
They may find something interesting, just follow their associations.
Yes.
Yeah.
And in the wiki, the wiki language behind, is it like MediaWiki, wiki? What is there a special version of the wiki that, I mean, there's some, you know, like the markup, markdown? Is there a special language?
It's no, it's nothing like that. I'm just
It's just plain
I'm
HTML. Then?
trying to find a page which is in editing mode. It's probably closed now. Yeah, never mind. So let's do it here.
This one, yeah.
In the source, you can see that it's mostly HTML.
So it's HTML. Okay.
There is no markup or
Okay.
markdown here.
Yeah. Okay. So that
It's just a modified HTML.
So if you want to add an image, you either add it with the editor or you copy the image tag, the HTML image tag, and you paste it. Like your Facebook image, you just copy the HTML.
No. For example, let's see. I can copy this image, copy,
Yes.
paste.
Or you do just plain copy paste.
That's what I thought I'm doing, but it's not pasting. Now it's pasting. You see, the image is pasted,
Okay.
and you can move it on the page, or you can see a few of its parameters
so
here,
you grab the
and
Facebook
modify
content.
them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
And yeah, and in a similar way, you can copy tables, which is very convenient, I think.
Oh, you copy tables from a web page. You copy the tables.
Yeah, I just
Okay.
copy all the content, and
Yes. Okay.
which I find very convenient myself.
Another question. I see a piece of JavaScript section. Can we run any type of JavaScript? Meaning, like, if I have a JavaScript that pulls some data from IPFS, would be able to work or not? Like, or is restricted code?
For doing it, yes, it's only administrator can run this kind of codes. You see, I can make permission to run JavaScript on these pages.
Yes.
But it's only for administrator, and that's why I'm trying to develop this federated wiki approach, so we have less conflicts. Every user will be free to run. Yeah.
So if in the federated approach that I will have my federated wiki linked to every other wiki, but I will be able to administrate my own pages, basically.
Exactly. That's what many people are asking, to have their workspaces, their own workspaces, but still ability to see others' pages, topics, but on the same page.
Okay.
Yeah, merged together.
Does that mean, like, this one, PBWorks, is it centralized, or is it I mean, you mentioned distributed, federated, fractal, that type of thing, but on the infrastructure, is there a server somewhere, or is everybody has their own? Like, do you have your own servers and you have every? No.
It's a central server in PBWorks, which is in the United States, I believe.
Okay.
Is maybe not very convenient. Maybe. It's still good, but if you work online, it's too slow.
Yeah, I see. So what does that mean? Is that when it's too slow, you work offline and you copy. So all your documents you work them elsewhere and then you copy paste.
No. It's
No?
it doesn't work like this. I have to work online all the time with PBWorks.
Okay, I see. Okay.
And so this add-on for Firefox, it's still being developed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it will allow to work offline by any participants. But because every of the participants has his own workspace, they will have no conflicts between each other.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, and also they will be able to create forks of different pages on their workspaces, modify them. But that will be already a work of either this plugin or a cognitive assistant to remove the identical versions of the text and and to make visible what is the difference different people put into the same topic.
So that will be really a federated wiki approach then in that case.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. But PBWorks is federated by the, I mean, as out of the box, it's a federated wiki.
To my knowledge, PBWorks does not support this federated wiki format as such, so it can be realized manually, but it is not. It's not part of their system.
Okay, so that means you will move away from PBWorks once you have the tools ready.
Absolutely. When the tool is ready, I will probably move completely from PBWorks.
Okay.
What still may be important for some of us is to have a kind of a front end or official page for his own wiki somewhere, which is showing open content of every participant, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
In such a way, different people all over the world will be able to see what's happening in each mental space, or how to call associative personal ontologies. Yeah, they will see what's happening there and also connect when possible.
That would be nice. That's true. Okay.
Yeah. It will be something maybe different still. We will see how it works.
Yeah.
Okay. So I thought of probably pages on PBWorks, but it will be only one of the alternatives. It doesn't have to be PBWorks.
The other question is that all your web pages is all static content. Is there any dynamic part of it or not? Because if it's all static, we can totally host it on any type of platform. I mean, we can even migrate everything on the IPFS if it's static. If it's a static web page that has created,
we can.
Which is nice, meaning you don't rely.
You can put pieces of different pages here.
But the search and testing, it has to be run somewhere on the server, right?
Just try and find.
All the search is dynamic, right? So that means it's that if someone creates a page, the indexing and the search is made dynamically. So you have to have somewhere a program that do the indexing.
I believe that it can be made dynamic. But the pages as such are static. But they can have dynamic sections or blocks.
Well, the pages are static. Like when you do in a search box, when you do search in a search box, it go to the workspace and then do a search on the workspace. So it's a dynamic function that you cannot.
Yes.
if you have only the client side, you cannot do this function besides just on your own local page. You cannot do more. You can do cross users, cross workspace to search this way. So.
Well, I cannot answer. Just I didn't hear it clearly. You see that what I see here is that we can publish, for example, Google Maps on PBWorks, and so a map can be seen here easily.
Yeah, but that means you instantiate.
Let me see what.
You instantiate an iframe or a piece of JavaScript that will do. Yeah, so that means this is still static code. That's fine. It's still static. So the question that
I just hope to see. Yeah.
Yeah, the question that I have is that all those pages that are there, static pages, if you move them to any CDN or content address, whatever storage, like IPFS, you will be able to browse it the same way. And the question is, do you have still all the search linking capability available there? And if yes, then we don't need to rely on PBWorks. We can have everybody, we can have their own space, and we all interconnect, link each other pages. If it's just pure static pages, and this is what I look for now, is that beside the editing, which is just a JavaScript running in the browser, you have more or less everything static.
Absolutely. So you see the content of the page can be parsed totally.
Yeah.
And that's how, for example, the Google Maps looks here. It's just an iframe.
It's an iframe, yeah.
And I think that,
that's good. I mean, I can experiment a little bit.
It should be possible, yeah.
Because I like the idea of having pure static.
Yeah, and it's better to experiment with, sorry, just API, actually allows downloading pages, but they are, hold on, they are in some formats, which is not HTML.
Doesn't matter. I mean, it's probably a JSON or whatever it is.
Yeah, it is JSON, actually, yes.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure what happens then. Yeah, because well, I didn't touch JSON. How to
Okay, but I mean, it doesn't matter. I want to see for the long run is how I see this tool. If we are pure static, we can totally have a distributed way of having. That means that everybody can have their own page locally on their computer, and they are all linked together, and we can still discover each other's work, and it's super fine.
Oh yes, absolutely, yeah.
And
yeah.
The only function that we need is we need to have the kind of bots that will put the page together so that they are, like you said, all the open topics or all the things. You need to have aggregators.
Yes.
But yeah, okay,
yes.
Cool. I like that.
We can still do it manually at this stage, but still a cognitive assistant in finding topics not by titles,
yes.
but by the meaning.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and without this kind of cognitive assistant, it will be really difficult to work and connect with other people.
Well, it's slow in building up that network. But it's still the possibility are the same. It's just that it will be slower to populate and make all those things useful. Yeah,
yeah, it will. Well, because you see, I'm working on this field more than 10 years, and there are not many people who are working in this format of associative networks or holistic. It's difficult for too many people.
Well, the format is
for
difficult,
us to
probably
participate.
because of the UI, the interface. Like people,
Absolutely, yes.
so
Yes.
if you have
Interface,
if we migrate, we down the road, if we improve the interface from, yeah, right now it's like kind of a pure wiki, and so probably not everybody likes to work with wikis, but if down the road we simplify the interface for most of the people, then they will put content, they will put link. And even if we connect their brain directly,
absolutely, yes. We need to
automatically,
create this.
yes.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I showed the graphical user interface, but well, it may be, it can be done later, maybe,
Yes.
seeing the flowchart. Or like, if you like it, we can do it now.
So it's another, you're going to another place, right?
It's another place, which is real board or something like that. You see, it's called now micro.com.
Yeah, Maro.com, yes.
Oh, Miro, yes, Miro. And just what I wanted to show here is that you see a part of Fractal Wiki is when we draw content from very different platforms, but on the same topic, on the same page.
Yes.
Yeah, and so then you see we do assign intellectual properties to different chunks of knowledge, and a combination of this content as well.
So what does that mean? Is that so all the contents from different platform, and how do you assign IPE on those things? Is that you put a tag somewhere, or you put what does that mean? Assign IP.
Well, every chunk of knowledge potentially should have its own address, and then the ownership, and so also you see it will be how's it called? It's metadata attached to every piece of knowledge,
and so
every content.
You have the address, you have the owner, you have what are the required field that you want to see in every piece of knowledge.
Yeah, just I don't remember by heart. So it was just something like this. Whatever is required for the value flows.
Yes.
What I'm trying to do is just to track the knowledge from sales of products and services,
okay,
up to the contribution, and because even philosophers have their contribution in our world. It should be tracked up to there and to the artist.
Yeah. Basically, you want to be able to go back to the source of any type of piece of knowledge and see how they when they evolve, aggregate, whatever things. You have to have a way of linking back to the original.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. And because we are building a holistic ontology, with time we will know exactly who is the original author of each particular thought, and who is the author of each particular form of this thought, how it is represented.
That's for example, a nice feature, yeah, because on the blockchain thing, we work on logistic and tracking the same way, and like a system for detecting fake news. If you have a way of having the context and the origin, you can always know if the news is fake or not, type of thing, because you know where the source is. And so it's very good to have that type of linking, and it's also very it's in the same spirit than blockchain, where you track and you have a record of everything happening and the transformation of this piece of knowledge or piece of article from the source up to the consumer or the reader.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, cool.
Just you see, I'm working on the concept of a collective subject and also global subject, if we're talking about solving global problems. And part of this is knowing exactly the contribution of different participants and their roles in this collective subject. And also, you know, they should be kind of paid back for the contribution, because it's yeah.
But that's the tricky part, because in all societies there is something that are predictable, like the value can be predicted, but like a piece of art that make nothing, the artist has no success, is not known, but then 50 years after the piece is discovered and then it's make a big, the value just go crazy. And they have the same thing about research. It's like you have some research that are done in the background that never get result until there is a breakthrough. And that can be 100 years later. And so attributing the value and having the payback system is really, really hard, and in at least the modern society that we are in.
Yeah, well, I believe that we are not inventing anything new here. We're just trying to create tools which will be used by individuals and societies and different groups and teams for them to decide how they want to govern this all.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, I mean, everybody else every country might have also a different approach. You know, some people, you have 10% of our revenues for the artists, and you get subsidized, and you have other things that will have different systems. Yes, okay. As long as we have the tools to enable that, it's good.
Yes, so what I'm working is on the very well, it's highest abstraction, or how to call it better, just you know, the very top of the architecture, allowing everything to happen. And so then if we do not allow different processes and flows, it means that we put restrictions to development of our civilization, basically. And so then if we're thinking about solving global problems, then we should expect that in this situation, the global subject will be not suitable for resolving all these problems, because he will have not enough flexibility and abilities to think collectively and act collectively. Yeah.
Good work. I like your
Thank you. Yeah.
It's so, really complementary to what I do. That's what I like too.
Yeah, I would like to see also what you are doing, and maybe think what could be our next steps. Probably it will be peer-to-peer collective intelligence platform anyway.
Yes.
That we're both working on, which I believe is very important.
Yeah. I mean, it's still the very early stage, because we have to get familiar with each other tools and make the bridges and that type of thing. But I see really good potential because it's really a good fit. I'm creating the record of the knowledge, and you're creating all the links necessary to navigate through the knowledge, and so it's really a good match.
Oh yes, absolutely. Just when the tools are created, it will be convenient for all of us to move around.
Yes.
Just what I'm trying to do, for example, this moment is, you see, I tried to use TiddlyWiki.
I love those ones. I like that.
Yeah, it's good, but still it was difficult for me to go through and to make something really working well. But what is done is the directory for the TiddlyWiki.
Okay.
Yeah, you see it's subcategories.
I've worked a lot with TiddlyWiki,
Yeah.
in the past, because I did almost all my documentation and project with the TD Weekly that was shared. And to the point that I wanted, because TD Weekly is self-contained. And so there is there's a lot of overhead. Like if you have thousands of TD Weekly, but you use thousands of storage space. And so what I wanted to do, and I probably will do if you like this approach, is having like libraries so that you share the core TD Weekly on, let's say, on the platform, and so that you just have to post the bare minimum. I forgot the Tiddler, I don't know how they call it again.
Yes.
It's just the basic knowledge information which require no spaces. And then you have all the platform that put the TD Weekly together, so that you don't have the overhead of the. So
yes. That's exactly what I try to organize with this community. But
Yes.
the reply was that we just all programming and ourselves as individuals and see what happens. So I did not see a need in building a team in the whole Tiddly Wiki society or community, better say, you know.
Yeah.
And my main point, not main, but is also research on self-organizing of teams, how they build these collective subjects, all the mechanisms behind it, what tools are required, and also what ideas are essential for building this kind of collective subjects, the teams.
Like self-organizing teams. Yeah, there's a couple of people that are working this way, you know, the leaderless organization type of thing. The thing is that what I've seen is that every project, they have to have a core culture, a core team to be able to sustain.
Yes.
And so that's the difficulties of self-organizing team, is that you might have a boost initially because everybody likes the project, but it's very hard to sustain over time and deliver, because of that there is no sense of belonging or to like an existing membership of a structure, so that you like to contribute in that group. In itself, because that's the problem of large. You have the same problem of large team.
Yeah, I think so too.
Is people come and goes when they have time, but you need to develop a culture so that it make the core, like the core team in that make the things sustain.
Yeah, I still believe that it's also a matter of values. When people get rewarded for their contribution, then gradually they will have the interest in this project, and so then.
But then it's a self-interest.
Sorry.
Then it will become more self-interest.
For some, yes, but all the people.
Yeah. Okay. Agree.
Just all the people are different. For some of them, it will be self-interest, so they will contribute more to the project because they get rewarded. For other people, they work just for the idea, just to express themselves, and also being happy to be a part of this particular community.
But my point is maybe slightly different, is that you might have an intention of the team initially, that everybody agree and go towards the same type of goal, or have the same vision of the things of the project. But then once it grows, you have even the individuals that are joining the community might have a different approach, might have a different view. And the tricky part is how to make you evolve that type of mindset that the people join, that the mindset will evolve, and how to sustain the group while the mindset is evolving. I don't know if you know what I say. But,
I think yes, just for big groups of people, we should expect that they will build so-called fluid teams.
3 teams, okay.
Yeah, it's basically teams of teams for realizing whatever functions are required. And in experience of TiddlyWiki, we know that different people and teams are working on different parts of TiddlyWiki. Yeah, and so this is absolutely not a problem. When they disagree on something, they just they just separate and build what they want to be realized. And so then present to a bigger community. And then it will be again up to community as a whole or different participants to accept the result of their work or not, just not to use.
Yeah. But the TiddlyWiki and PBWorks is the same. The tools is just a communication tool. No matter what is the platform, it doesn't matter.
Yes,
it's knowledge itself is the same.
Yeah, it's from my point of view, it's they both can be used as a long-term organizational memory and one of the communication tools.
Yes.
Agree. Yeah.
Okay. I think we got. I think we can conclude because I think we've done a lot.
Yeah, it's more than an hour probably now talking.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, the topic is huge.
Yes. But
yeah, that's all good. Yeah, I'm very pleased.
I can use it, and then we even start to use it a little bit to get familiar with it.
You think it's reasonable? I will be supportive. Yeah.
Yes. Just one question. I see in most of the page you still have the SSS yet to be done. What does that mean? And what needs to be done?
Let's see. You see, it's a link here.
Yes.
We just opened the page. Systematic and systemic studies is a method of developing holistic ontology. And there is some idea, just a bit of introduction. It's specialized search through a filter bubble. Yeah, or because well, it's again a function of a bot or a cognitive assistant to look specifically into areas of internet which are most relevant to the subject or to the topic.
Okay.
No, in this way we will find the most accurate information. Yeah.
Yeah. What does that mean? In the every pages, we need to add some information metadata so that this tool later will use it. Or when you say yet to be done, what does that mean? Is that where this missing data? I mean, is there some page where the SSS is done and how it is done?
So it means that I run a very quick general search on this topic.
Yes.
Yeah, and it gave me, for example, this page from Ashoka.
Okay.
Whatever platform. Yeah. And you see, for example, this topic already is being developed further by comparison, fluid and fixed teams. Yeah, so it's already, it's still a part of the holistic ontology. Yeah. The structure is here. But it is not studied in full depth. So if I want to, it's just reminded to me that that's not complete. It's just a short overview. And for those who want to dig even further, they will find an idea how to do it on this page.
Okay.
On the principles of systematic and systemic studies.
Okay, so this page gives you the requirements so that, the minimum things that you need to have to be SSS compliant.
Well, there is no compliance as such.
Okay.
People can start by putting anything which they think is relevant. But then it will be they will be back themselves, or their friends or mates will continue their work. It doesn't really matter who is doing it. And so again, when we build a team and we think about these big groups of people as a big team, we should expect different roles. Just as I said, for the role of a knowledge curator, it's not too many volunteers.
Yeah.
But other people may be happy to either read content or contribute bits and pieces from time to time, you know. And so, yeah, just whoever is suitable to whatever role, they will contribute.
Okay.
That's the main thing, the main idea.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Not a problem. Thank you for recording all this.
Yes, and it's probably late on your side, and so I wish you a good night.
Thank you very much.
And I will dig a little bit more into it, and I will prepare also, or maybe not this week, but maybe the following. I don't know. We prepare a talk for my work side, so that I will give you.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, yeah, great. May I just ask you to give me a copy of this recording, if possible?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much.
Excellent.
And have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, and for you. Bye-bye.